So now that I got all the wood off the walls, now we can move forward with putting the windows in. So I made a template. So this is the collar that goes around your window. That's going to be around the window on the inside of your trailer. And so I traced around the outside edge here. I made a template. I marked the middle of the template here. And because there's a stud, it's really hard to really trace around it from the inside. But I've marked where I'm going to put 2 holes. I'm going to drill through the trailer and put 2 holes here. So then I can take this template to the outside of my trailer and match up those holes, just kind of like the Max Air fans for the roof. And then I can drill a few more holes around the tracing on the outside, and then I can fit that jigsaw in there. And I'm going to cut out around the side here, around the side here, and then I'm probably going to come back inside the trailer to cut through this stud here, that way I can see it real well. I'm going to take that piece out and we'll go from there. Here we go. Now we go to the outside of the trailer to trace that stencil on. So I made those holes from the inside and I lined them up here on the outside. I then measured all the way from any point that I could find to make sure that it was level. So I measured off here, measured off of the roof down, and then from the other side over, just to try and make sure that it was centered and level. So now I'm gonna go ahead and trace around this. So right before I started cutting the outside of my trailer yesterday, my camera died. And then the process proved to be a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. But I did get the window in, as you can see right here. So these studs here, I started cutting them with the jigsaw, and you could get through the first part not too difficult, but then once it came to this U part, it was a lot more difficult. So I had to make a few different cuts. I ended up using the angle grinder instead of the jigsaw, and just getting that to all fit in there was a little bit of a process, but I got it to fit. And so now hopefully the second window will be a little bit quicker, a little bit easier now that I've kind of figured out the first one. I did forget to put tape around the edges, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that because it protects the outside of my trailer here from getting scratched. I cut out all of this, now the only thing that's left is that stud in the middle. So I'm gonna go inside and use the grinder and cut that stud out. Where's Ranger? Okay. Ranger's safe. We're good to go. Piece is out. That went a lot quicker than yesterday. So now I'm just gonna try and clean up all these jagged edges and make it nicer here. And then I'll try and make sure the window fits. Never used a grinder before this, you can probably tell. So normally you would stick the window through here first, and then you put this collar on over it. But because of these studs here, I kind of had to pull the outside of the trailer, this thin metal, away from the stud a little bit so that I could get the edge of this collar up in there. Otherwise I would have to try and kind of cut the stud down a little bit more, but not damage the outside. So I actually figured out that I could pull that away from the stud a little bit and then just get that lip right down in there. So I put the collar in first, and then I'm gonna get someone to help me. They have to hold the window from the outside so that I can put these self-tapping screws into the window to secure it and kind of like sandwich it between the trailer. So I'm going to put foam tape around the edge of the window frame. It's going to give it a tighter seal when I sandwich the collar to the window here, so it'll give it kind of a squishy seal on there. Some types of this tape will have sticky on both sides. This one actually just has it on the one side. So I'm going to start with the bottom of my window. And I'm just going to kind of peel that sticky part off as I go. Kind of pull it around the edges. It does kind of mold to it a little bit. Okay, and then when you get back to where you started, instead of ending it right where you started, you're going to want to overlap it by maybe ½ inch or so. That it's nice and pressed all the way around the edges, and it'll be ready to go into your window frame. So once the window's put in, then you have to take some clear silicone, and I'm just gonna put that all the way around the window here, try and seal it up as good as I can to keep any moisture out. These windows are made so you can put them in either way, or you can flip it around, so they have drain holes on both the top and the bottom. They give you these little rubber plugs here. So I went ahead and put those in the top so that those are plugged up, and then you still have the 4 drain holes on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that silicone around the window. Back and kind of smooth it out, wipe off any excess, make sure that I got a good coverage around this. So I got both windows put in now. This is kind of the light that they let in. There's the second one. And they open pretty easily. Screen over here, and they are tinted, so that's pretty nice. So there you go. We got both windows installed, and I hope you'll follow me for more. Next up, we're going to be doing the flooring.